Hey friends, this is Colleen with Stir the Soul, and I'm here to share with you my review of the NLT Study Bible in large print. And let's see a little bit about it. It has 300 plus theme articles to identify and explore the major topics and ideas, 25,000 study and text notes, 85 articles that set the stage for each major section, book, and time period. It has charts, 200 Greek and Hebrew word studies, 90 profiles and paint portraits of major figures, and words of Christ are in red. So I'm going to go ahead and just open it up and flip through this so you can see it. This is a hardcover. And it just has NLT Study Bible on the side, and then the back is just solid. I would say it's like a black, I think it is black, but it does look a little bit like a really, really dark navy. And it could just be the blue reflecting with that. And you can see here, I really do wonder if it's like a very, very dark blue. All right, so we'll open it up and flip through. And like I said, this is large. Look at how big that font is. It's beautiful. I have been really appreciating larger fonts lately. Okay, so you have your introduction, a note to readers, tells you about the New Living Translation. Let's see. Some timeline. There we go. I'm having a hard time getting that to stay open. Some timeline stuff, some maps, and then Old Testament. So here's your introduction to the Old Testament. Can tell you about that. Shows you how the books of the Bible are broken up in the Old Testament. Background, timeline, introduction to the Pentateuch, and all right, so here is Genesis. So it's going to start with a little bit of an introduction, a setting, showing you a map. And then here, so this is talking about the entire book of Genesis, and it's going to give you a little bit of an outline of what each chapter is talking about, like the sections, and then a summary. Here's a timeline over here. The authorship, a composition, Moses used collections of family records, oral traditions. So I think how it kind of came to be collected. Literary character. Really cool stuff. Introduction here. I mean, it's talking about like what a myth is. Editology. Which are stories that explain the causes of factual reality and traditional beliefs. And then history. Again, so I mean, this is a lot of background information, meaning and message. All right, and so here is where it starts, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And so here you have a section that's going to talk a little bit more about creation. And then, so a study Bible, in case you are unfamiliar, a study Bible is going to have notes on the verses for you to be able to look at and learn a little bit more about that verse. So if you look down here, so it's for Genesis 1:1. It has, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, which is restating the verse. And then it says, or in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, or when God began to create the heavens and the earth. This statement summarizes the entire creation account, which is verses 1:3 through 2:3. Already a key question. Who created the world? Is answered. John 1:1 through 3, although the modern naturalistic mindset rejects this question and that of creation's purpose, Genesis affirms God's role and purpose in creation. The common name for God in Hebrew is Elohim, emphasizes his grand supremacy. The word Elohim is plural, but the verbs used with it are usually singular, reflecting the consistent scriptural proclamation of a single, all-powerful God. And then created, in the Old Testament, God is always the agent of creation, expressed by this verb. It describes the making of something fresh and new, notably the cosmos, the Israelite nation, and the future creation. The heavens and the earth are the entire ordered cosmos. Okay, so I know that that can seem maybe a little bit basic, but for those who just don't have a study Bible, and maybe you just have a Bible and you want to know a little bit more, study Bibles will help you dig deeper. Not necessarily every verse is going to be have study notes on, but what I like to do sometimes is just like say read all of chapter 1 and just sit down and read it, and then maybe after or maybe the next day come back and read through the study notes and see maybe something else is going to pop out a little bit differently, or maybe I was a little bit distracted when I read and I didn't fully catch something or understand it, and then the notes help me pause a little bit longer and come back and look at it and learn to know more. It also has cross references in the Bible. So if you look at, so for Genesis 1:1, it has Psalms 89:11, Psalms 102:25, Isaiah 42. It has John 1:1-2. So those are verses that cross references are going to help correlate with the scripture that you're reading about, so that it's pointing to. So that's another way to study. And so maybe you want to come back a third time or during this course and you can look up those verses to read a little bit more. And I think that helps just to see how the Bible ties together and the verses all align. So we'll kind of just flip through here a little bit. And you can just see, so you can see this down here is probably about an 8-point font. I don't know, I didn't see the size of this. I'm guessing, I wonder if it says right here, it could be about a 12. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but I mean, it's definitely, I think it's a good size font to look at. We're just going to kind of flip through some of here. It does have one, let me pull this out. It has one ribbon for saving your spot, marking it off, and go into the Psalms. There is, I just want to point this out. So, I mean, there's maybe about half an inch. Let me go ahead. Sorry, I just shook the camera. Yeah, it's about 3/4 in between, 3/4 and a half an inch as far as space. So not a lot of room to journal, but you do have some here at the bottom. I think you could take some notes. You could always take a Post-it note and stick it in if you wanted more room for note taking. And we're just gonna flip back here. Here's your introduction. I love, just seeing all the information it has. Definitely a good introduction on each book of the Bible to look at. Oh, and I did just want to show that it was red letter. Yep. So Jesus's words are in red letter. Let's see in the back. What do we have back here? All right, I think that's it. After the apostles. It's talking about the church and Roman Empire. Reference helps. Let's see what these are. Weights and measurements, Hebrew and Greek word studies. So these are words in Hebrew. Let's see. Let's just start with the first one. Abal, and then it says mourn, and it says this verb expresses an attitude of deep sorrow. Often mourning is accompanied by weeping and other physical manifestations of grief or more formal mourning rites. And then it's going to give you some scripture references to look up, I think, to read more about that. So Genesis 37:34, Exodus, and so you can go through. So I think that you would come here if you just want to study. I don't think it's going to take you, and now it might have a note. Let's look on Genesis 37:34. I'm just wondering if you were on Genesis, like would it point to you coming to the back and wanting to look at that, or 37:34? Okay. Okay, so I do not see anything here that is telling you to come here. and look that up. So you would just come to this section if you wanted to study some of the Hebrew words, and then Greek words are after it right here. And then, all right, features index. I'm guessing these are people and places that you could look up. I see people for sure. Yeah, and places. So you could look up some, find out more information on each of these. And then the next thing is an index of even more. Like here's blessings, and you can read all about blessings here. Yeah, tons of words here in the index, because this is all indexed. Oh, and then it switches to, okay, so this is all indexed, and then it's going to switch to a dictionary and concordance. So if you want to read about Aaron, it's going to tell you about him, the word abandon, and it's going to have the scripture references in here. And there is several pages of this in here. I think that's, yep, that's going to take me all the way through that. So you can see that's a big, give me 1 second to get here. Yeah, so I mean, this is all your dictionary and concordance. And then you're going to have some maps, some beautiful colored maps to follow. Israel, probably Paul's journey, Jesus's journey. Yep, and read all about it. And as far as size, I don't have my larger ruler with me, but this is about 7 inches wide and 11 inches tall. So, I mean, it's a decent size. It's not super, I'll tell you how thick it is, but it's not a very heavy. It's about 2 inches thick. It's not super heavy, but it's not really small either. It'd fit in a giant purse, definitely in a bag. And I think that this is actually me flipping through this. I quickly did browse at it, but this is the most that I've looked at it. I really like, I think it has good information, historical, and just covering, I mean, just Hezekiah. I like the layout. To me, it's very clear. You have the larger font up here for reading the scripture. You have the boxes from the further study on it, and then you have the study notes at the bottom. And so I like the layout and the look of it. I do like that it has the cross references. And I do like the larger space. It doesn't seem like it's all just crammed together and a lot on a page. It is clean white pages, which I always like pretty white, nice white crisp pages. So again, this is the NLT Study Bible in large format. Thanks for watching.